How's it going, everybody? If you're interested in starting your own eBay dropshipping business, then I actually have a free checklist for you that tells you everything that you need to get started. I'm going to show that to you right after the intro. Hey, I'm Paul, and I'm committed to teaching you the exact strategies I use to create multiple six-figure businesses on eBay and Amazon. These are the same methods that changed my life, and I'm here to show you how they can change yours as well. So what's up, guys? My name is Paul from dropshippingtitans.com, here with my trusty sidekick, Orlando, and we want to teach you guys about eBay dropshipping. So what I did was I put together a little checklist. This is something that was heavily requested by a lot of people because they've seen a lot of my videos about eBay dropshipping, teaching different techniques, methods over the years, and people want to know what I use now, what I recommend now. So if you click the first link underneath this video, you can follow along with me. Let's just switch to that so that you can see this is a kind of the checklist. And as time goes on, I'm going to be updating this checklist. So if I change the software that I use, if I change any strategies or anything, I will update it here. These are all the current resources for you. So we scroll down, there's a little quote here, and I wanted to throw this quote in here because what it says is, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command, and better tools will be found as you go along. George Herbert. And the reason I like that quote is because on this page, I'm going to show you a bunch of different tools that I use, software that I use, but you got to understand at the end of the day, those aren't as important as the execution and you actually taking action. And in fact, the first thing on this checklist I have is your mindset, because this is so critical for the success of any e-commerce business, any business at all, is having the correct mindset. And when I talk to students and coach students, I see this over and over and over again, that people don't know how to approach business. Most people want to figure it all out before they get started. And that's just is not practical. It's not the way that you run a business. Successful people commit first and figure it out as they go along. And that's so important that you first commit to doing it, even if you're unsure exactly how you're going to achieve it. And I guarantee you, as you go through the process, you gain clarity. Clarity comes from taking action. So that's kind of why I put that one right in there, mindset, right there, right in the beginning for you guys. So that's the first thing I think is absolutely critical for your success. And just knowing that you're going to be successful, just believing that with every inch of your being so that you have no choice but to go full force towards your goals because you know that you can achieve them. So that's number one. The second thing on this checklist is obviously you're going to need an eBay account. So if you just click here, that will bring you to eBay and you can sign up for an account right there. Obviously, you can't do very much without setting up an eBay account. Now, when you set up an eBay account, you get a choice of whether you want to subscribe to a store subscription. That costs money to do. Setting up an eBay account does not cost money. For now, it's fine to do the free one. Just kind of figure it out under the free one. And soon, I would recommend getting a subscription because you save a lot of money with it. But for now, it's fine just to do the free one just while you're trying to figure it out. After that, you're going to need a PayPal account. So I have a link here where you can sign up for a PayPal account. Right now, as of the making of this video, eBay still integrates with PayPal. They are splitting up, but everyone uses PayPal when they shop on eBay. So if you're not using PayPal, you're losing out on a ton of money. So I highly suggest you sign up for a PayPal account. It's pretty much necessary at this point if you're selling on eBay. Now, when you're dropshipping, the thing that's going to take you the most time is listing items onto eBay and repricing them. So we are dropshipping from other retail websites like Walmart.com. Let's say you dropship or you list up an item on eBay from Walmart, all of a sudden the price changes. You want to make sure the price changes on eBay for you. So make sure you use a good, reliable listing and repricing software. They're usually combined into one. This is the one that I use right now, and I really love it. It's called SKUGrid. It comes with a listing tool as well, and it works with about 500 other suppliers. So this is my affiliate link, but if you sign up through that, you get a free trial. So I highly suggest you check that one out. It'll save you a ton of time. And the prices are always changing, so I hate to show the prices right now, but it's always very affordable just to get started with the cheapest plan after the free trial. Now, the next thing that you really have no excuse not to do is to get a cashback account. Now, these websites, what they do is, let me open up this one. This is the one that I use a lot and love. Again, this one is an affiliate link, but you get $5 if you sign up and make a first purchase. So once you sign up for an account with this website called Giving Assistant, just come here, click, let's say it's Home Depot on the bottom right here. I'll click on Home Depot, and I'll click here where it says Shop Now on the top right. That will bring me to Home Depot. Home Depot looks normal. It's a normal website. I shop there. But because I clicked on this button first, I get up to 8% cash back. So if I spend $100, I'll get up to $8 back. The exact terms and exclusions can be found right here. And you'll get a bonus $5 for your first purchase if you sign up through my link. There are a lot of these cashback websites. I personally like Giving Assistant. There are other great ones as well, but that's the one that I use and find it to be really reliable. So that's the one that I recommend that you guys use. And the next thing you really need is some way to pay for your items. So the best way to do this is with a credit card. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, and I would speak to one before you open a credit card. But if you know you're going to open a credit card, you know you're responsible, you know you can pay it off every month, then I really recommend you get one that pays good cash back or some really good rewards program, because dropshipping, you're a middleman. You're passing a lot of money through your credit cards potentially. And you might as well take full advantage of that by getting as much back from that as you can. So for instance, this card gives me 2% back on all my orders. So if you put on the card, let's say like $300,000 a year, that's going to pay you, a month. This is monthly. So let's say you do like $50,000 a month. You're going to make additional $12,000 a year just because you use this credit card. So that really does add up. It really is worth it for you to use a card like this. Again, this is the one that I personally use, and I can say it's worked really well for me. Now, I get paid from eBay, and I pay off this credit card multiple times a week. So that's just the responsible way to do it. I never put just a minimum on it to pay it off. I pay off it in full every single month. Now, the next thing on my checklist here is training. So I suggest you invest in some sort of training program so that you understand how eBay dropshipping works. I will be hosting a free webinar soon. So if you click on this link, you can sign up for the free webinar. Just click register now, sign up, and watch the webinar. And that will kind of introduce you. That's free training for you right there. It doesn't cost you anything right there. But if you're fully serious about this and you really want to do well, then with any sort of business, I do suggest you invest in something so that you can, take it more seriously and understand how the process works from someone who's made all the mistakes and knows how it works and has been successful with it. The other thing I have down here is you can win a free 10-minute coaching call. If you guys haven't signed up for that yet, check that out, because what I'm doing is going to be a new YouTube series where you can click here and you can sign up on this page. And what I'm going to do is just call random people. I'm going to record it. So you got to be cool with that and agree to the terms of that. And I'll call you. You have 10 minutes to ask me whatever you want about drop shipping. We can talk about life. We can talk about anything that's on your mind. I don't care what it is. And it will be recorded. If it's good stuff and it's not too personal, I will put it on YouTube so everyone can learn from it. This is a new experiment. I think it could be really cool. So if you guys are interested in being in the first episode of that, so to speak, just sign up here. I already did one of these calls as kind of a test, and it went really well. And so it was really exciting. I made sure that the recording software worked really well. So we're all set with that. It seemed very exciting. So I'm really excited by this, and I think you guys are really going to love it as well. So if you are interested in that free 10-minute coaching call, a bunch of people have already signed up, but this is going to be happening on a rolling basis. So if you don't make the first sort of like cut of it, then after I make another video, I'll keep calling new people. So if you haven't entered yet, feel free to enter anyway, even if it's been a while from now. And I'd like to hear in the comments if you guys think I missed anything on that checklist. I'd be happy to add it to it. Just, again, you can click the first link underneath this video to check out that checklist. And let me know if you think I missed anything. I'd be happy to add it on there. And like I said, this will always be updated. It's kind of like my resource page. So as time goes on, if different things change, that will be fully updated so that you guys make sure that you don't miss out on everything that I'm currently using to run my business. So let's see who's here in the chat and what kind of questions we got. I have a bunch of really great questions saved up from the week. So if you guys have any questions about eBay or Amazon dropshipping, make sure to leave them in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer them for you right away. So we have Edwin here saying that he was first. So welcome, Edwin. It's very big. Let's make that a little smaller. Robbie was second. So what's up, Robbie? We have Christina and Martin. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. Is Lifestyle saying, how's the move going? So he's down in Florida. I'm moving to his neighborhood soon. And yeah, I'm moving there very soon. I'm very, very excited for it. This is actually going to be the last live stream I do in this apartment. So say goodbye to the brick wall behind me. Next live stream, hopefully some palm trees behind me. That would be pretty cool. So let's see. Good evening, all from North Miami Beach, Florida. You'll be my neighbor very soon. Hector from the Bronx, what's up? Thanks for being here. Everyone's saying hi to little Orlando. So if you guys like Orlando's little cameo appearance, make sure to give him a thumbs up. He can't do it because he doesn't have the thumbs for it. So he's asking for you to do it for us. Great quote. So true. Yeah, I love that quote. I just kind of stumbled upon it. And I thought it was perfect for that page. Yeah, so great question. Fantastic gamer wants help with a stealth account. So I actually have created some stealth accounts on my own. For those of you who don't know what stealth accounts are, so anytime you set up an account with eBay, eBay's able to kind of track who you are. So they look at things like your email address, your PayPal account that you have attached. They look at your address that you have, the name on file. They even look at your IP address. And if you have any other accounts that kind of match up with that, then they link the two accounts, even if you try to keep them unlinked. So if there's a problem with your main account, let's say you get shut down for whatever reason, and you have another account that's linked to it, then eBay is going to shut down that linked account as well. It's not cool, right? So people create these things called stealth accounts. And stealth accounts are ways for you to keep your account completely separate from the other one. So that if something bad happens to the first account, eBay won't shut down the second one as well. This requires you to sometimes set it up in a family member's name or a business's name. And if you got to kind of keep it on another different computer with a different IP address. So a little bit difficult to do, not too bad if you know what you're doing. I've had a few people request this. I've actually done it myself because I wanted to do some testing on like separate accounts that were isolated. And I was able to do it successfully. It's really not that hard. So I've actually recorded a few videos of it that I was going to put inside my course. And I wasn't sure at first if people were interested in it, but I hear a few people asking. So I think that's something I'm going to be adding to my course in the future. Maybe I'll be adding on YouTube, but it really requires like a step-by-step. So be on the lookout for that. I'll definitely be talking more about that in the future. Cool. So with these cashback websites, it's kind of tricky with Amazon. Amazon's kind of the stickler here because if you're shopping on like Home Depot and Walmart, they are happy to let you use these cashback websites to make extra money by going through the cashback websites. But Amazon's a bit strict about it, or like stickler about it. They used to offer it very like leniently, and now they kind of pulled back a little bit, and it's harder to get cash back unless you get the cashback credit card through them. Mr. Rebates, I think, is the best one to get cash back when you're shopping on Amazon, in my personal opinion. So that's the one that I would go with. But you should definitely get the Amazon cashback credit card, again, if you know how to responsibly use credit cards, because that one will give you 5% off all your orders. So stack that with the cashback website, Mr. Rebates, and you'd be great for Amazon. Right. Hey, Paul, don't forget my niece will get you Disney tickets. Yes, I got to take you up on that. Super excited for the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Big Star Wars fans here, so I'm super excited for when Disney opens that. I'll definitely be there the first week. I know it's going to be crowded. I don't care. I will be there early for that one. So Joanna asked a really great question about cashback. So I mentioned Giving Assistant. She knows about a bunch of other ones. From your experience, are certain sites better for certain suppliers? I just found some to work a little bit better. I found Giving Assistant to be very consistent. But what I would do is go to a website called cashbackmonitor.com. Type that in, cashbackmonitor. Oops, there goes a dog. And the great thing about this website is this shows you most of them. So I'm going to search here for Home Depot. It's one that I use a lot. And I'll open it up. And it shows me that Lemony pays 8%. Kindly pays 8%. Shop at Home pays 8%. Simply Best Coupon pays 3%. And this is max because it's not going to be fully 8%. It's probably closer to 3%. Let me open up Lemony to see for sure. Yeah, it's only 8% in certain categories, and everything else is probably like 3%, or it doesn't even have an everything else here. So you got to be careful. You got to kind of read the fine print here. So that's why I like Giving Assistant, because it doesn't even have Giving Assistant here. But with Giving Assistant, it gives you up to 8%, but only in certain categories. For the other categories, for everything else, it pays you 3%. So it's kind of like a catch-all, which is kind of why I like that, a bit more consistency there. Okay. What do you recommend for doing your taxes and business write-offs? I always recommend you speak to a tax expert about that because it gets tricky, when just remember, like with drop shipping, again, high volume of sales that we're doing. So just remember, like, if you take in $100,000 a month on eBay, that's not your profit, right? So you want to make sure there's good record keeping. You have a good accountant so that they can prove that just because you took in $100,000, that's not your profit, because you have to then turn around and buy the items, which takes up a lot of that money in there. So just make sure you have a good accountant there. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for being here. Let's see. Easy says, what mic is that? Jeez, it's crystal clear. So normally I don't use this mic. I packed up the other one. The other one kind of like always hides behind the computer. This one actually, I like the sound of it better too, but it's just kind of in my face, which is why I don't like it. This is the ATR 2005 USB microphone. Okay, so Jose says, if it was possible to be able to drop ship from, let's say, for example, Target, but send it to yourself first, then the customer would bring up any issues or red flags with eBay because of the tracking number. Yeah, so you can do that, but that's not drop shipping. That's more like online arbitrage. So with online arbitrage, that's a great business model. It's kind of like a natural pivot from drop shipping into online arbitrage, or otherwise known as OA, not to be confused with DOA. And OA is when you buy items online, and usually what you do is you ship them to Amazon's FBA center. So then if it sells on Amazon, Amazon just handles shipping out the item to the customer. But you could certainly order the item, have it shipped to your home, and list it up for sale on Amazon and or eBay. And then once it sells, you ship it out yourself. That's not drop shipping. You would have to obviously pay to have it shipped out. But that's your choice right there. Now, the benefit of doing it that way is, let's say there's a big sale right now and you can get an item for 25% off. You could buy like 10 of them, have them shipped to you, and then in 2 weeks when the items go back up in price, you can then sell them at that higher price, as long as you make enough profit to cover your fees and the shipping to the customer. You can make some money right there doing it that way. So that's called online arbitrage. And just the difference between that and drop shipping, obviously, is with drop shipping, we list the item up for sale on eBay. Once it sells, then we buy it on Walmart. and we have it shipped directly to the customer. Cool. So I had let's see some of these questions from the week. Do you pay them PayPal? So I made a video about virtual assistants. They want to know how I pay the virtual assistants. Yeah, I pay with PayPal. PayPal used to be free to pay your virtual assistants. Now they charge a fee, which is kind of annoying. It adds up. So there's different ways around this. I think it costs like $5 every time you pay your VAs. So basically the best way around this I found is you can pay them once every other week. Therefore, you're only paying that $5 fee once every other week. So that helps. Another thing, if you end up having a team of VAs, you could send all the money to one VA that you trust, and then he or she can distribute the money to the other VAs. And the reason that's a better choice is it only costs you $5 to send it to that one VA. And assuming that they're all in the same country, which a lot of times they're all in like the Philippines, for instance, it'd be very easy for her to then send the money to the other VAs, and she won't be charged that $5 fee every time she does that. But there's got to be that trust there, right? And that's a good solution as well. Julio says, if you have poor credit, what's the best way to get a credit card? So I would suggest improving your credit. There are ways you can do that. But another good choice is getting something called a secured credit card. And a secured credit card is one that is exactly the same as a regular credit card. But let's say your credit limit on that card is $5,000. Basically what you do is you give your bank $5,000 and they hold that money in basically like an escrow, an escrow account. It's like an account that they don't touch and you don't touch. It just kind of sits over there, out of the frame, back there. Then you buy something on that card. Let's say you spend $1,000 in April on that card. At the end of April, you pay off that card from your bank account. Then that $5,000 still sits there. Again, no one's touching that. But let's say you put $1,000 on the card on April and you don't pay it off and you default on it. Then the bank is going to take $1,000 from that $5,000 and use it to pay off the card. So that's kind of the way it works. It's kind of like you're putting up collateral so that they know that you can never default on the card because they're holding that money for you. And then you can always close that card. A lot of times you can close it and then they'll upgrade you to a regular credit card. And usually these cards, you can only make it as large as like $25,000, I think. And then what I wanted to say is once you close the card, they return the money to you. So you get that $5,000 back, assuming you never defaulted on it. Now, the only one I've actually done this is with the Wells Fargo Business Secured Credit Card is the one that I did. It gives you 1.5% back on all your purchases. That's the Wells Fargo Business Secured Credit Card. And I had a bank. I had Wells Fargo as my bank anyway, so it worked out. And it was good for me in the beginning of my business because my business didn't have any credit. So it allowed my business to grow its credit. Yeah, so great point. You can use something like PriceBlink, and that will, when you're on the website, it will also show you the best cashback websites to use. PriceBlink is a Chrome extension. Great suggestion, Zachariah. Appreciate that. 2 pop filters for one mic. Knows making fun of me. My speech is very explosive, so I tend to blow out the mic a lot. So this is the way I get around it. If you don't know what he's talking about on the microphone, microphones have these things called pop filters. There's one here, which is kind of more like a wind filter, and then this is a second one. And it's used because when you say letters like P or P, it blows out the mic and sounds bad. I don't know if it works if I do like Paul. It might sound bad, but then you put this in front. If you do it right, it should prevent that from happening. And some people don't have a problem with it. I tend to have a big problem with it, and it's like annoying for me to listen to it, so I don't want you guys to have to listen to it, which is why I use both of them. Totally off topic. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so next question I had. Oh, so that's someone who signed up for the free coaching. That was just to remind myself to remind you guys, which we already talked about. So Mohammed says, hey, Paul, does Walmart accept PayPal when you're checking out on their website? And what do you recommend using Walmart? Gift cards or paying with credit cards or PayPal? What do you think? So yes, you can pay with PayPal when you shop on Walmart. You can also check out with a credit card. You can check out with gift cards. You could use something called Visa Pay, or there's a bunch of other cards that have similar things. There's an Amex version. There's a MasterCard Quick Pay. Basically, like what the Visa Pay is you sign up with Visa, their website, and they have your credit card information so that you don't have to input it on Walmart. And not many websites use those, like as much as websites use PayPal, but it is another option. Personally, I've only ever used gift cards, credit cards, and PayPal on Walmart, and they've worked fine. A lot of times, if you use a credit card, if you're new to dropshipping and starting to do an increase in volume, Walmart will start to cancel your orders. And it's just a fraud preventative for them. They see a lot of orders on this new account. They're a little nervous about it. So they cancel your orders. That's completely normal. But what happens is over time, that stops happening. But in the meantime, what you can do is place orders with PayPal or place orders with gift cards. And then eventually they'll stop canceling your credit card. Now you can put your credit card into PayPal, then you check out with PayPal and you still get the cash back for using that credit card. Okay, so good question from Marco about PayPal jail. So when you first start selling on eBay, you're going to be put in something called PayPal jail. So actually for the first, I think that's what you're talking about, Marco, because for the first 90 days, 3 months, whenever you sell an item, they're going to hold your money, PayPal, until you ship out the item and it's been marked as delivered. Then they'll release the money to you. There's no way out of this PayPal jail, but once you start getting enough sales and eBay and PayPal see that you're responsible and you're shipping on your items and they're being delivered, you're out of PayPal jail. You can get out earlier if you have enough sales, but usually it takes about those 3 months. Let's see. Okay, so this question I had from Ego Shredder. Okay, so I made a video about why you might have lost money while dropshipping. You can just search for that and my video will come up. But one of the suggestions I had was one of the reasons you might have lost money was because you waited too long to purchase your item. So the item sells on eBay today, and then let's say 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now, 4 hours from now, the price of the item on Walmart goes up. So now somebody bought it for you at a lower price, and now you can't get it at that lower price because the price went up. You waited too long to purchase the item. So I said that's a reason people lose money. Ego Shredder makes a really good point. He says, this person says, I find that processing orders immediately can backfire when your buyer changes their mind and asks you to cancel their order. Often it can then be too late to cancel the order from your supplier. So waiting a few hours can help avoid this, but also create a major headache if the price rises. Absolutely, I agree. It's definitely a balance. You don't want to wait too long, but it's smart to wait a little bit of time. Now, you have no obligation to cancel an order if someone requests to cancel one. As soon as they place the order, that's like a contract for them to purchase it. But they're going to get it and they're going to return it anyway, and they might leave you negative feedback. So it's worth it to cancel the order if you can do it. So waiting a couple of hours is fine. Just don't wait all day. Don't wait till the next day to place the orders. That's when you start to run into a lot of trouble with price changes there. Okay, so Marco, who we were just talking to before, what's up, Marco, says his 30-day hold on PayPal, again, I think he means 90-day, or just the PayPal jail in general. This is an old account, so he doesn't think he should be in PayPal jail. He also mentions he's from the Middle East. So it's possible that the fact that you live outside the United States has something to do with it, but more likely it's because you don't have many transactions or recent transactions on this account. You can actually go back into PayPal jail if it's been a long time since you placed orders or did anything with your account, or rather accept orders. If you've been using it on a regular basis, though, even just a little bit, that kind of keeps you out of PayPal jail. Why aren't you in Florida yet? Hurry up, I'm moving. I'm working on it. So let's see. All right. So Daniel Gonzalez, what's up, man? I'm liking the suit, liking the tie, looking great there. Do you recommend QuickBooks or any other software for bookkeeping until we can afford a good CPA? Tax jars are a little pricey per month. All right. So there's two different things there, three different things really. So I want to kind of break this down. So when you're running any business, bookkeeping is obviously really important. You want to keep your personal finances separate from your business finances, or your business finances, expenses. All your business should be separate from personal. And with the business side, you want to make sure you're actually turning a profit. And you only know that by keeping careful records. How much money you're taking in, subtract from that how much money goes out. It's that simple. But it can be a lot, and we have a lot of transactions. So that's where bookkeeping software comes in. Something like QuickBooks is very, very popular for just any business. It's just kind of like a go-to, that one, and FreshBooks, but I think QuickBooks is more popular. And the great thing about QuickBooks or these softwares is you put in all the information and it kind of keeps track of everything for you. Very kind of simple, easy to use. In some cases, they integrate with your banks or your credit cards so that it automatically pulls in that information. I don't always suggest you do that method because some banks will do that and others won't. And sometimes it gets confusing for you to remember which ones you have to manually enter and which ones are automatically entered. And so we just do it all manually ourselves, pull the information from a bank's website and put it in there at the end of each month. That makes sure that we're making a profit every month, right? Very helpful to do. So then what you do, that's your bookkeeping. But then at the end of the year, come this time of year, you have to, because right now we're recording this in April, you have to pay income tax every year. So then you give that information to your CPA. They use that to determine how much money you owe the government in income tax. That's not something that most people can do on their own, so they give it to a CPA to do. I know there's cheap ones out there as well. And some people can get them for free if you're below a certain income level in some cities. Now, tax jar is something very different. Tax jar has nothing to do with income tax. Tax jar has to do with sales tax. So every time you buy an item, Daniel, you're buying it on Amazon, let's say it's a $20 item, you pay $20, let's say it's free shipping, but then you might also pay $1.50 in sales tax. Now, Amazon collects that $1.50. Now, Amazon, at the end of every month or every quarter, they have to send that $1.50 to one of the states that they owe it to. So that's sales tax. That's separate. And tax jar helps you as an e-commerce seller deal with sales tax. So they make it super easy. So what they do is tax jar connects with your eBay account, with your PayPal account, with your Amazon account if you're an Amazon seller. And then once you sell an item, it determines how much it's sold for, where the item was shipped to, because that determines how much sales tax you were supposed to collect and for which state you were supposed to collect it for. It calculates that for you automatically, and it will let you know, hey, you collected enough sales tax, or you collected too much, or you under-collected, and it can even automatically send the sales tax to the correct state agency when that time comes. Sounds kind of complicated, which is why tax jar exists, because they automate all this process for you, make it super, super, super easy. That's sales tax, so that's something different. For most people, they don't have to worry about that right away, but as you scale up, that is something that you do want to look into, how to handle sales tax for dropshipping business. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so Noah makes a great suggestion or comment. Most debit cards don't offer cash back, as well as you don't have the problem with refuting a claim. protection with refuting a claim. Yeah, so somebody had asked a question about debit cards, and Noah's correct. There are some that will do it, like a small percentage. I feel like there's a 1% one. I know the PayPal debit card is 1%. The PayPal debit card has a limit, a daily limit on it though. You can do up to 30 transactions in one day if you get the PayPal debit card, and or up to $5,000 a day, I think, whichever one you hit first. So that's a limitation for some people. But if you're brand new, that's a pretty good one. You get the PayPal debit card, you get 1% back. I feel like there might be one or two other 1% cards, but they're rare. And Noah's right. You also don't get the protection that a lot of credit cards come with. Okay. Let's see. All right, so Yvonne, what's up, Yvonne, says, I just finished your free Amazon mini course. Awesome. I have that linked up below. Anyone else who's interested in that? I currently have an FBA Amazon account. Should I cancel this account in order to start as a dropshipper? Thanks. No, you shouldn't do that. You're really only allowed to have one Amazon account, and you can't really shut down one to start a new one. And that's because Amazon doesn't want people, starting an account, screwing it up, getting bad feedback, and then just shutting it down, starting a new one. So you're not really supposed to start a second Amazon account. Yvonne, you should just start with that same Amazon account. That's totally fine. You just have to change some settings around, make sure that you have the right settings for merchant fulfilled, which is different from fulfilled by Amazon, and you're good. That's all you have to do. In fact, you actually get a leg up here because your account's already kind of like set, ready to go. Like Amazon has seen that you made sales and they fulfill orders. So you kind of get a little bit of like a head start on most people who are just getting into Amazon for the first time with the dropshipping model. Okay. Okay. Zachariah, so many people ask me questions about my mic setup and things like that today. What software do you use for recording/editing videos? So I just recorded my camera and the screen shares. I use ScreenFlow, which is for Mac, and then actually have a guy, Pomsey is his name, and he edits the videos for me because I tried doing it on my own. They just look terrible. He does such a better job, so it's worth it for me to like reinvest that money back into the YouTube channel by doing that. Which kind of brings me to this second point. What do you suggest as being the best internet business outside of dropshipping? What do you think? So the best one is the one just that you feel comfortable with. For me, I like sharing what I learn. So I put it all on YouTube, and YouTube has been fantastic. I love you guys, talking to you guys, making these YouTube videos for you guys, interacting with you guys here. I like being on camera. I nerd out with all this equipment stuff. So it's fun for me to make these videos. And the great thing about YouTube is that anyone can start a YouTube channel. I encourage you guys to do it because you can document your journey. You don't have to be an expert yet. You can show people, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but this is what I'm trying. And I guarantee you somebody's going to comment on your video saying, hey, congrats on getting started. Congrats on putting yourself out there. I noticed you did this. My suggestion is you actually try this instead. It would work better. I found that making a YouTube channel has allowed me to connect with more people who are really good at dropshipping that I've learned a lot from. We've been able to mastermind, compare ideas, is open up opportunities for me that it otherwise wouldn't have because I'm putting myself out there. People see that and people want to, connect with me because they see what I'm doing. They're saying, hey, I'm doing the same thing. Let's compare notes. Or here's, you've given me value, Paul. Let me give you some value too. So it's really great to do that. And it's great for yourself to look back, to document your whole journey, to see, wow, I came from there. I was doing X amount of sales last year and now I'm doing this well. And I forgot about that. I forgot I was doing that last year. I should start doing that again this year. So I definitely think something like YouTube is a great platform, a great additional way to kind of do something like dropshipping or any business and still be able to talk about, still be in that same niche. So it's not like you're doing too many different things. It's still within like the same kind of area, but while still, you can make money from YouTube, even though it's not like a lot from YouTube in terms of like making money from ads. But it's definitely a cool thing. It's definitely a way to connect with people and become a better dropshipper yourself is kind of what I'm trying to say. Well, I don't even know what that means. What is the mysterious land? Oh, okay, mysterious land of pharaohs. What's up, man? I thought you said mysterious island for a second. Awesome. Highs of 86 in Miami tomorrow. I think it's going to be 55 here in New York. All right, so what's the best software for product research? Well, for eBay, it's definitely Zeek Analytics is the one that I love. If you haven't seen that one yet, checklist, maybe I'll make like for the checklist when I get a chance, maybe after I move. What I'm going to do is make like, I have the eBay like basics, which I showed you guys, and I'll add in there underneath it the Amazon basics, but then I'll get a checklist that's more advanced stuff because you don't need product research when you start. Even though I love this software and I think it really helps your business, I never like to suggest anyone takes on too much software at once because, then you get added costs. And I like people to make money first before they reinvest it into their business. But this software, Zeek Analytics, it works really, really great for drop shipping on eBay and research. This is what I use and my team of virtual assistants use just because it works really well. And the guy who owns it is just fantastic. He's very supportive in the community, helping people out, and just really wants to see you guys do well. So he's always looking for ways to make Zeek Analytics better. So actually, I do have that linked up inside my description of this video if you guys want to check out that one. Now, for Amazon dropshipping, the software that I use is called Web Scraper app. That's for listing items or repricing them on Amazon. And they just came out with a really great research tool, which I've made a video about recently and will be making more videos about because it's still, they're still making it better and better and better. It's kind of just fresh and they are improving it themselves. So it's very exciting. I made a video about it and you guys can check it out when I make more videos about it soon in the future. Let's see. Awesome, Robbie. Robbie says, I just sold my first item the other day, just messing around with it. $16 profit. What's up, Robbie? That's awesome. Congratulations. Do I miss any aspect of being a lawyer? Yeah, so those of you guys who don't know, I used to be an attorney. Well, I technically still am. I'm just not practicing right now, meaning I'm not actually going into court, doing any of that stuff. I mean, part of me kind of misses it. It's kind of exciting being in court. It's kind of like an adversarial. It definitely is an adversarial environment. You got to like be fully prepared. You go in there, you make your case. It's all about outsmarting the other team. And, there's just so many angles you can attack any legal issue with. It's kind of almost fun to figure them out. So like you have a client and you have to represent them and they have a problem, right? So there's facts and there's also the law. And you have to know the facts and you have to know the law. And sometimes you'll win the case based on the facts and sometimes you win the case based on the law. And even within the law, there's a law itself. Like the law might be you can't run a red light, right? That's the law. But there's also procedural law, which means that like if they didn't read you your Miranda rights when they were arresting you, for instance, that's more of like procedural law. So then you can win based on the facts, you can win based on the law, you can win based on the procedural law. So you got to really know everything and attack it from every angle. So that was kind of exciting to do. But with any job, I feel like it's easy to get stuck inside like one little area that you're not like thrilled about. And the great thing about being an entrepreneur is that you don't have to get stuck. You're always able to pivot and try new things and experiment with new things. So I really like this lifestyle for me. It fits me a lot better because I'm just always liking to try new things, even if it's riskier in some ways. Okay. Let's see. So Daniel says, how would you compare Terapeak to Zeek Analytics? I upgraded my store subscription to try out Terapeak, and I liked a lot of the features, although the keyword research could be better. Yeah, so I'll probably make a video comparing the two at some point because I tried out Terapeak very briefly, and I was like, oh man, it doesn't have a lot of features I like, so I'm just not even going to bother playing around with this. And now I can't even remember what features it was missing. So I'll write down a note to make that video comparing the two, and I'll remember what it is that I didn't quite like about it, because actually I have the note there to do it. Look at that. So I just can't remember what it was. It was just missing some features that I really like about Zeek Analytics. And Zeek, the other thing about Zeek Analytics, it's designed by dropshippers for dropshippers. So it's really catering to us, and where Terapeak isn't doing that, which is definitely a big bonus for Zeek Analytics. All right, guys. So I think we've reached the end of the questions for tonight. I want to thank everyone so much who came out for the live stream, asked questions. This will be up for replay. So if you guys have any questions for a future Q&A, make sure to ask them in the comment section of this video or in any of my videos. I save them up. I'll answer them during my next live Q&A. If you guys liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, make sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And the next live stream will probably not be next week for my regulars. It will be the week after, and I'm not even sure what day it's going to be on. It's going to happen. There's going to be a change in the schedule, but I'm sure I'll let you guys know all about what that is. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Good night.